Hi, Pisces. So just like everything else right now, my technology, for some reason, the last couple of months has just been really weird. So I hope this video isn't like lagging or anything like that. But if it does, I can't do anything right now. I can't do anything about it. So I can just give you the reading. So here we are. December is not slowing us down at all. In fact, it's really going to feel like we're sort of picking up the pace a little bit. Sagittarius season has the sun and Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius with the full solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 4th. And this is really like, this is the time that more people are recognizing you or seeing you. If you feel like you're getting more attention now than you usually would, it's because there's this great big light shining on your section of the chart where it's the public eye. And it's also about career, and it's also about gaining responsibility, and it's taking accountability for things. So you might feel like there's more pressure on you right now, or like everybody's sort of looking at you and staring at you right now. Be very careful of projections. This eclipse, it's the last of 6 eclipses that we had on the Gemini Sagittarius axis. And it was all about our beliefs as children versus what are we believing now? Are we going to continue to believe the old program? Are we going to move forward into the future and make our own beliefs and create our own beliefs? And for you guys, more than anything, what you're seeing in yourselves, and there's another aspect that's happening in December that's going to amplify this for you, but what you're seeing in yourselves is a different person than how everybody else has always seen you. Being a Pisces, it's very hard for you guys to have boundaries. You're mutable water. So because you're like constantly in that, if you're not in a flow, if you're not moving forward, if you're not in a direction that you want to be going in, you just circle. You're just going around in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. And it's very hard to have boundaries when you can't, when you don't know where to put them, or it's difficult for you to put them. So this might be a time that people are projecting onto you a little bit more. We also have Venus retrograde in Capricorn happening on December 19th. And again, this is really a public area of your chart that this is happening in. Venus retrograde in Capricorn just generally is not a good time to start relationships. It's not a good time to invest in some really big, like transaction. Like don't do big transactions with money and stuff and things like that. For you guys, it's about the community effort. And I think that Venus retrograde is going to show you who it is that you're not supposed to be in, like who's not supposed to be in your space anymore. There are certain people, because it's very hard for Pisces to, you guys can have like, I'm not saying you don't have boundaries. I'm not saying you can't have boundaries. It's just a little bit more. I mean, like that's one of the things for you guys, just like for Virgos, it's hard for us to have boundaries for ourselves. For Pisces, it's hard for you guys to have boundaries with everybody else. And so people project onto you, quite often. And that the same thing is going to happen with Venus retrograde. It's really going it's asking you, are you valuing your own self-worth based on the amount of friends you have, the amount of likes you get on social media? There's something about the presence that you put out there and how it's changing. And some people aren't going to like that, because when a Pisces stands up for themselves and they are and maybe you've tried to stand up for yourself over and over and over again and nobody could hear you. And this time you're just kind of at that point where you're like, I don't care if anybody can't hear me anymore. I'm still going to do it. You know what I mean? It's like in the past you would give leeway and you're like, okay, fine. I understand. We all have our own journeys. We all have our separate things, but you can't always do bygone. Let's have bygones be bygones, right? You can't always do that with people. You have to be able to speak your truth. And if you're in an environment or you have friends or community or whatever where you are stifled in any way, that's not going to be good for you, Pisces, especially because Jupiter is moving into your sign for the second part or the second time this year. First time Jupiter was in Pisces from May to July earlier this year, and then went back into Aquarius for a while. And then now we're going to have Jupiter in Pisces December 28th. And for a lot of 2022, Jupiter will be in your sign. And so this is going to be a really great time for you to invest in yourself spiritually. And this is going to be a really great time for you to have boundaries, because with Jupiter, it's about overindulgence. And with Jupiter, it's also about not having boundaries. And Jupiter rules Pisces. So it's time for your focus to be on you. For those of you that want to be in relationships, pining for that relationship is not going to make it get there any faster. So finding and having a relationship with yourself first and foremost, that will make things start moving and coming in quicker than if you're like, you're like, I desire, I want, I need. The pining part, that's going to be really difficult for you. But so many blessings can come out of this Jupiter transit for you. The thing with Jupiter is because he is so expansive, we have to make room for the blessings that we're getting from him. So if there are things, people, situations, family members, significant others, jobs, school, I don't care what it is. If there is something in your life that is creating dis-ease within your existence, Jupiter's going to take one look at that and be like, you know that we can't expand with this shit sitting here in the way, so we got to do something about it. And that'll happen. And whether you're on board or whether you're not on board, the universe is like, I'm interested in you being your best version every single day. And this person or this situation or this job or this community is holding you back from being your best version. So it's time for you to take accountability. 10th house stuff, right? That's what's going on this month. Taking accountability for your own boundaries. Taking accountability for your own life. When you feel super uncomfortable, time to go into hermit mode. There you go. So your sister sign popped up telling you, yes, it's even okay for you to rest, because the Virgos are having to rest this month too. We're all doing it. We're all taking a step back. So hermit mode activated for the Pisces. We have the Hermit is the first card out. I actually really like that for you guys. I just got goosebumps. Yes. Okay. This is about finding your why, because your why is supposed to be about you. It's not supposed to be about anybody else. It's not even supposed to be about your kids. The reason why you exist is your why. Some people call it your purpose. Some people call it your destiny, fate, whatever. And it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to look different for everybody. But it really feels like there is there's time and space for you to make these decisions. Let me get 2 more cards and we will have a chat. Whoa. Okay, 3 more cards. I love it when they do that. By the way, you're at the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Cups. Just thought I'd let you know. I gotta figure out this camera. I don't know what's happening. All right. Yeah. So, and here's the thing is you've been working really hard to get to this point. And so giving yourself some grace. I was reminded of that this morning as well. So we have the Hermit was the first card that came out. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Sorry if it's fuzzy. We have the Justice card. Seven of Cups. 10 of Wands. I'm trying to make it so it's not fuzzy, but I guess it's not working. 3 of Cups and the Star. These two came out together, so we're going to read them basically as like one energy. Okay. Hermit mode is activated. When you're in hermit mode, it's going to help you balance out. Now, if you're dealing with a Virgo and you're dealing with a Libra, I feel like you're trying to find some independence between this Virgo and Libra, because we have this 9 of Pentacles right here, which is very interesting. I feel like what you're trying to accomplish is creating your own balance outside of maybe expectations of other people, or, you know, and it's so interesting because I have recognized, even for myself, but I've recognized for a lot of people, and myself included, that when we get to a certain part of our journey, or when we get to a certain part of our path, things start to become really, really difficult and super confusing just before we level up to the next spot. And I feel like that's what's happening to you in December. And I feel like actually that's happening to a lot of people. We have Saturn, Sextile, Chiron, just, you know, in the beginning with that solar eclipse on the 4th. And Saturn, Sextile, Chiron is about taking responsibility for our traumas and our healing, right? The healing, it's saying Saturn, Sextile, Chiron is like, it wasn't your fault that you got hurt. It wasn't your fault that there was trauma or wounding, but it's 100% your responsibility to heal it. And a lot of people don't like that idea. Well, if it's not mine, if it's not my fault, then why am I? Because you can either choose to heal it, or you can choose to be a miserable turd for the rest of your life. Those are the options, right? So this 3 of Cups with the Star, I feel like there's something about this journey that's happening. You could also be dealing with an Aquarius as well. But the 3 of Cups for me is not about cheating or a third-party situation. The 3 of Cups for me is about when you and I come together and we make a third energy, which is source energy. And it's the joy and the excitement and all of that. And sometimes I think that you feel like you work too hard to find people to love you. And when we do that, that's because we're searching for certain types of people to love us, when those aren't the types of people that are supposed to be loving us anyways. The people that are going to love us are going to show up when we are fully being ourselves, when we're not trying to be anybody else than who we are. The people that are going to love us are the ones that are going to love us regardless of how we look, regardless of, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just, it's not about finding your tribe. It's about being your tribe and then letting other people be attracted to you, because you don't want to force your energy onto people. You don't want to force being friends with people. That's just like trying to force a relationship to work out after it hasn't worked out for years. And this kind of independence that you're looking for is not shallow by any means. You're not like putting this brick wall up going, no, I just don't want to have to deal with people anymore, and I just want to be able to live my life on my own, and blah, blah. Like, that's not how you're doing it. You're doing it in a very responsible way. And some people are going to probably be shocked by that. So when the moment comes up, or when the time comes up, and maybe it's happening right now for you, that you're confused and you feel like it's never going to end, and you're always going to be stressed out, and you're always going to be like waiting for that goodness to come in, right? It's just right over that hill. I promise you it's not that far away. So please be patient with yourself and other people. Like everybody is having to relearn social cues after, being isolated for so long. People are just still having to learn social cues. So, a lot of people won't even realize they're projecting onto you. All right, guys. If you'd like to get the extended, we're going to clarify all of these cards, look at the bottom of the deck, chat a little bit more. You can get that by becoming a member of the channel or heading over to Vimeo and getting the video there. All of that information is in the description box. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of December and great holiday season, and please stay safe. I'll see you guys in the extended. Bye.